I knew it was a mistake by Link to keep you and your kind alive. You will pay for this. What? Then, what do you want from us?
Princess Zelda, Sir Commonwealth, Sir Jack, and Sir McIntyre are alive, but they are held as prisoners in the same cell in the castle dungeon. For now, I will try to locate a contact of the hero in the sacred grove, and then, who knows?
Pesky worthless cuckoos, always getting in the way. Oh my golden goddesses. Ah! Ah!
Sir Luke, is that you?
Eat my blade, you filthy Bakublins! Overlord, how in the name of goddesses did we end up on this great sea?
Well, you are in the adult era. When the hero of time confronted and crushed Ganondorf, the king of thieves tried to crush the castle along with the princess and the hero. When this failed, he utilized the Triforce of Power to transform into the Demon King Ganon. For a short moment, the hero of time was forced to rely on his remaining items and the Bigoron sword, but was eventually successful in his effort of bringing the Demon King down to his knees. The Seven Sages sealed Ganondorf with the Triforce of Power in the Sacred Realm. He in return cursed them and swore to murder their descendants, while the hero of time was sent back to the past to relive his childhood. Peace returned to Hyrule in the adult timeline as a new era of prosperity arose. Slowly, the hero's merits faded into legend, and when Ganon, after several centuries, managed to break the seal set by the Seven Sages, he once again brought havoc to Hyrule. Ganon and his minions crushed the Hyrulean army. Out of options, the Hylians pleaded the gods for help. Faced by the hopeless situation and the missing hero of time, King Daphnes no Hansen Hyrule entrusted the fate of his kingdom to the gods. They decided to flood and seal the land at the bottom of a great sea and selected who would be allowed to ascend to the new land. Upon Princess Zelda's and her retainer's departure, the king broke the Triforce of Wisdom in two and handed one of the pieces to her. By the way, Sir Luke, whose ship is this?
The ship belongs to the royal family of New Hyrule. We were tasked to deliver some crucial historical documents to Her Highness Princess Zelda, but I guess we can look at them on the way. Or until you get me and Sir Jesse out of here.
I am working on it, but do mind, we have troubles of our own here in the child timeline. Anyway, do you have any records of the Hero of Winds in there?
Hundreds of years after Hyrule has been sealed at the bottom of the Great Sea, the memory of the ancient kingdom vanished, and Ganondorf found a way up to the surface of the sea and the Forsaken Fortress. From here, the demon thief sent out his minions to kill the Sage of Earth, Laruto, and the Sage of Wind, Fado, to weaken the Master Sword and ordered the Helmerod King to kidnap young girls in search of the descendant of Princess Zelda and the Triforce of Wisdom.
This treacherous crime led the pirates of the Great Sea to Outset Island, where they knocked out their kidnapped captain, Tetra, out of the Helmerod King's clutches. Instead, Errol, the sister of the new Link, was kidnapped. He set out to rescue her and infiltrated the Forsaken Fortress, but was thrown into the sea and rescued by the King of Red Lions. Link set out to Dragon Roost, received the Wind Waker, freed the Dragon Valu from Goma's clutches, and received the Pearl of Din. The hero set out for the Forest Haven and obtained the Pearl of Furore from the Great Deku Tree and the Pearl of Nehru from the descendant of Lord Jabu Jabu, Jabun, and raised the Tower of the Gods.
Link was sent on a great trial, and subsequently granted passage by the goddesses to the sealed Hyrule Castle to pull out the Master Sword. With the Blade of Evil's Bane in his hand, he faced Ganondorf at the Forsaken Fortress, but it was unable to inflict any wounds as the Master Sword had lost its capability to destroy evil. Ganondorf attempted to slice down Link, but was interrupted by Tetra and grabbed her. In that moment, the crest of the Triforce appeared and the King of Thieves realized that he had found Princess Zelda. Faced by this fact, the King of Red Lions summoned Link and Tetra to Hyrule Castle and revealed himself as King Daphnis no Hansen Hyrule. He united the two fragments of the Triforce of Wisdom to awaken Tetra as Princess Zelda, and tasked Link to awaken the Sages of Earth and Wind, and bring them respectively to the Earth and Wind Temple. Offering their prayers, Melody, the Sage of Earth, and Makara, the Sage of Wind, restored the power to repel evil to the Master Sword. Link crossed the vast reaches of the Great Sea and gathered the 8 Triforce shards to reassemble the Triforce of Courage. The gods recognized his valor. The Crest of Courage appeared on his left hand, and the King of Hyrule dubbed Link as the Hero of Winds.
Link returned to Hyrule Castle just to realize that Princess Zelda had been kidnapped by Ganondorf, forcing them to a final confrontation at the top of Ganon's tower. The circle was complete. Once again, the hero and the Demon King stood face to face. But this time, Ganondorf did not wait for Link to strike first. Taking the Triforce of Wisdom and Courage, he forced the Triforce to come down. Ganondorf stretched his hand to wish for Hyrule's resurrection, but could do little when King Daphnis no Hansen Hyrule laid his hand first and wished for the destruction of the troubled land. Wash away this ancient land of Hyrule. Let a ray of hope shine on the future of the world. The last battle of Hyrule was about to take place as the infuriated Ganondorf tried to murder Link and Princess Zelda in a desperate final confrontation. He failed, and Link pierced the Master Sword through his skull, turning the Demon King into stone. Hyrule was destroyed, and King Daphnis no Hansen Hyrule decided to go down with his kingdom. Saying their goodbyes, Link, Tetra, and the pirate crew sailed out to search for a new land at the end of the Great Sea.
Several months after their departure from Outset Island, Link, Tetra, and the pirates crossed the waters protected by the Ocean King and came across the mythical ghost ship. Intrigued by it, Tetra boarded the ship just to be kidnapped. While Link was washed to the Merkei Island and rescued by the Elder, Oshus, he introduced the Hero of the Winds to Celia, the fairy, and together they convinced the greedy Captain Linebeck to search for the ghost ship's location with the help of the Phantom Hourglass in the Temple of the Ocean King, and rescue the spirits of power, wisdom, and courage. With the combined power of the spirits, Link forced his way onto the ghost ship and found out that Tetra had been turned into stone after the evil spirit Bellum had drained her life force. Realizing that only Link could save the sea, Oshus revealed his true identity to be that of the Ocean King, and asked him to destroy Bellum with the forged Phantom Sword.
The Hero of Winds headed to the depths of the Temple of the Ocean King, confronted Bellum, crushed the evil spirit, and restored Tetra to normal. Nonetheless, Bellum was not done after a lengthy chase. Link faced the demon, but stood no chance when the great evil being unleashed its true power. Luckily, out of nowhere, Captain Linebeck finally gathered enough courage to cross his fear and face the evil spirit. Bellum possesses the captain, But by doing this, Link and Zelda were finally free to finish the evil spirit with the Phantom Sword and seal it in the blade after reducing it to the last of the Sands of Hours. Link, Tetra, and Linebeck stood victorious when the Ocean King finally presented his true form as a whale and sent the three back to the Great Sea and the pirate ship. Witnessing the departure of SS Linebeck on the horizon, Link, Tetra, and the pirates continued their search for a new land to settle.
Do not be afraid. I do not mean you any harm. You say the hero set out on a spiritual journey, but is he in Hyrule? Then I might have an idea of where he is. Thank you.
After lengthy, continuous searches, Link, Tetra, and the pirates finally found a new continent which was deemed New Hyrule. Things returned to normal as they were prior to Hyrule's destruction, apart from one thing, the spirit tracks stretching across the continent. Over the next generation, the kingdom flourished as an extensive railroad network was developed and a new castle erected. But little did they know that the Tower of the Spirits and the Spirit Tracks had a radically different function as a lock and shackle on the Demon King Malladus, who had been sealed upon defeat by the gods of the ancient past. A century passed after the founding of the new kingdom when the tracks began to vanish. Link, in this era, an engineer, was disguised as a soldier by the great-great-granddaughter of Tetra, Princess Zelda, and along with co-engineer Alfonso, headed to the Tower of the Spirits to investigate.
And the three were confronted by evil Chancellor Cole and a member of the ancient Locomo tribe, Burn. Together they intended to utilize Zelda's body as a vessel for Demon King Malladus. Zelda's spirit was separated from her body, and along with Link, the two were ordered to the Tower of Spirits by the Locomo sage, Angine. Zelda's spirit entered the armor of a phantom. Traveling the spirit train, Link and Phantom Zelda crossed the land of New Hyrule and restored the barriers to the temples of the land by borrowing the power of the Locomo sages through the spirit flute. Link and Zelda returned to the Tower of Spirits and realized that Malladus has been successfully resurrected, leading the suspenseful battle for Zelda's body in the Dark Realm.
The demon train was eventually derailed, and Malladus' spirit thrown out of Zelda's body. The princess wasted no time and regained her mortal form. Out of options, the Demon King possessed Chancellor Cole and transformed into a menacing beast. The decisive battle for New Hyrule commenced, and with the combined power of Zelda, the sages threw the Spirit Flute and the Locomo Sword. The Demon King was destroyed by Link. Peace returned to the ruined New Hyrule. The Locomo returned to the heavens, and the kingdom once again flourished.